I'm Nancy Norman with Weekly Wisdom. As we progress along this path of study that we have started on life and health and wholeness, there are two things that we need to remember at all times. One, that we were beautifully and awesomely made. In fact, that's a wonderful affirmation. I was beautifully and awesomely made, or I am beautifully and awesomely made. And the second thing that we need to remember is that we were built in the image and likeness of God. We were created in the image and likeness of God. Deepak Chopra once stated, "There exists within every person a place that is free from disease, that feels no pain, and cannot age or die." There exists within each of us a pattern of perfection that exists within each of us. We are awesomely and beautifully made. There is a pattern of perfection that exists within each of us. Our bodies were designed for life, for complete, total, magnificent vitality, life, and wholeness. A number of years ago, the Cadillac company that makes the Cadillac cars had an ad campaign that was magnificent. It showed this beautiful car, and it was on billboards, it was in magazines, it was all over, and underneath it said, "Body by Fisher, built to last." Well, through the years, I've never forgotten that ad, and I've changed it a little bit. I've decided to make that a personal affirmation. So I've changed it to "Body by God, built to last." Your body, my body, created by God, built to last. Body by God, built to last. So our bodies were designed for life, for health, for vitality, for wholeness. Life is our natural state of being. There is within us that something greater than any appearance of sickness or of disease. Myrtle Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, was diagnosed with TB and was told that she had about 6 months to live. Well, this young woman had a husband and two beautiful little boys, and she didn't know where to turn. A friend of hers told her about a lecture that was being given in town. Now, the year was 1886, and Myrtle Fillmore decided to go to that lecture and to see what this person had to say about spiritual healing. The thing that she took away from that lecture was mighty, and it changed her life, and it's changed many lives before. The one thing that she took away from that lecture was, as a child of God, I do not inherit sickness or disease. As a child of God, you do not inherit sickness or disease. Well, she left that lecture, and somehow she understood. She understood her relationship with God. And this is what she said. She said, "Human language cannot express the vastness of the possibilities I saw unrolled before me." Well, she began to work with those ideas that she had learned that night. One, that she was a child of God. She did not inherit sickness or disease. She came from a family that almost all of them had some form of tuberculosis at that time. But she came away with knowing that she did not inherit sickness or disease because she was a child of God. This is what she said. She said, You ask what restored me to vigorous health? It was a change of mind. It was a change of mind. From the old carnal mind that believes in sickness to the Christ mind of life and permanent health. I applied spiritual laws effectively. Listen to this. Blessing my body temple until it manifested the innate health of spirit. These laws, these wonderful laws, will work for you. They'll work for you too when you apply them diligently and in faith. And she goes on to say that each one of us is absolutely inseparable with God, the source and the substance of life and wisdom and intelligence and every good thing. But she said we must all, each one of us, draw upon the source of our own healing, light and wholeness. I am a child of God. Therefore, I do not inherit sickness or disease. What did she do? She changed her mind. What do we need to do when we're experiencing a challenge of health? We need to change our mind. We need to change our mind. Now, what Myrtle did was interesting. She went through the Bible and she picked out different Bible verses that she went through the whole Bible. And she picked out these Bible verses that spoke of health and wholeness and vitality and healing. I'd like to share some of her favorites with you. One of them was the question that Jesus asked, do you want to be healed? You can ask yourself that. Do I want to be healed? Well, Myrtle had a husband and two beautiful young children. Yes, she wanted to be healed. The second thing that she loved in the Bible says, ask believing, and it will be made manifest unto you. So she asked believing because she realized that God always answers prayers, always. Myrtle began to speak to her body. She blessed her body. She loved her body. The organs that were giving her some problem, she sent loving words out loud, putting her hands on every part of her body, blessing her body, and saying thank you. She also asked forgiveness from the different organs that weren't working so well. And she said, I just ask forgiveness that I will never again treat you in such a manner. So you and I must trust and we must rely on the great invisible giver of good and realize that God's world is crammed full of life, of health, of vitality, and of wholeness. You and I are a child of God, and we do not inherit sickness or disease. So right now, think about this. Knowing this truth, there is nothing in all of God's universe for any of us to fear. We're safe. We're secure. The body's intelligent. It is so intelligent, and it responds to our words of truth. There's nothing in all the universe for us to fear. God is my health. I can't be sick. I am a child of God, and I do not inherit sickness or disease. This week, think about this. Let there be health in your mind and body, and wholeness in all of your affairs right now. The body's intelligent. It listens. it listens. God is my health. I cannot be sick. I am whole, well, and perfect and complete, exactly as God created me to be. God bless you, and have a wonderful week.